All right, guys, big weekend, the one that just went by. We had 2 Bellator shows, 2 UFC shows, and now we got another big event coming up. It's UFC 231 in Toronto, Canada. Ready to break it down?
Let's do it.
All right, it's the main event that we've been waiting for a while now. It's the featherweight division in the UFC. Max Holloway puts up that belt against Brian Ortega. 2 guys that are still in their 20s, in their prime. I mean, rarely do we get this. It's going to be special. It goes down on Saturday. Dan, Tom, who do you like, man?
This is one of the best matchups the UFC could make, one of the best matchups all year, which says something so many fights these days. But yeah, we are getting 2 of the guys at their best. But the at their best part, I think, is the questioning thing. You know, Max Holloway's had a tough year
Right.
for one reason or another, and the ultimate reasons we really still don't know. He still doesn't know, and I think that is being reflected in the betting line right now. I mean, Max Holloway is a slight favorite. It shouldn't be a wide stretch either way who you're favoring. No argument there. But we are seeing that dog money creep to almost even money now as fight week approaches here for Max Holloway and Ortega. That being said, from an analysis perspective, you know, it breaks down a certain way for me. Ortega proves he's dangerous on the feet as well as on the floor, as we saw in his fight against Frankie Edgar. But the problem is, at the end of the day, if you're going to build the prototypical to beat a guy like Ortega, which is difficult because Ortega's not done advancing. We still haven't seen a ceiling. We still don't know how good he is. But from what we have seen, I'd say you need a guy that's disciplined, has got some good reach and footwork, you know, can work the body, and has shown that he can, you know, face wrestlers, grapplers, all different styles of guys and still stay on that game plan. That's what Max Holloway does. So that's why I'm back in here. I think he can pull away from the stretch and shut Ortega down with some body shots to look out for. But the thing is, if Max is not on his game and underestimates Ortega in the slightest, this kid's making advances each time out, and we could easily see Ortega get the upset, as the odds are starting to indicate.
Right. Goes, who do you like in this one?
If you told me today that both guys are going in 100%, for all the reasons Dan just stated, I would take Max Holloway. However, we've seen what these fighters go through, and just people in sports in general, they're always looking for some kind of edge, right? And to not know exactly 100% what happened to you the last time you were slated to fight, all it takes is just one little odd feeling before the fight, during the fight, to have that kind of those emotions come back. That's a lot to deal with, and I don't know that Max Holloway can deal with something like that. So I am going to lean towards Brian Ortega.
Brian Ortega. All right. Man, this sucks going last. You guys took all the good points. All right, you know, 100% healthy. I think I would still take Max because he's the title fight's a whole different animal, and he's been in it. He's been in it against the champions, former champions. He was in it with Conor McGregor, who at one point was destined to become a world champion.
Yeah.
It's not like Ortega hasn't had that high level of competition. I mean, you saw what he did to Frankie Edgar. But this is a title fight. This is a whole different animal. That said, Max Holloway's had the roughest year of any fighter, man. 2018, questionable as far as like, what was it? We don't even know. Or is he holding on it and not sharing with us? But he ruled out concussions. He ruled out kidney failure. What was it? What could it have been? I don't know that I can actually say I'm going to give you Max Holloway as my pick without me also knowing, you know, what's wrong. He still has to get through this whole week. This is one of the worst parts of his week is the weight cut. After the weight cut's over and he's got cupcakes, man, will I be scared, because I'm about to tell you I'm taking Brian Ortega as well. But until we get to that, I feel like the other guy, man, he's just on a trajectory and everything's been perfect for Brian Ortega these past few years, so I'm going to ride with him. I wish we were doing this on Friday night, but here it is on a Monday, previewing UFC 231 in Toronto, Canada. The featherweight strap is on the line as Max Holloway defends against Brian Ortega. Keep it locked on MMA Junkie throughout the week. We got our videographers and writers up there, so we got you covered.